Hey guys, another week has passed and here I am again checking in for day 33, I guess it must be today. Quite pleased I managed to keep this going. Just kind of something that popped into my mind today as I was thinking this evening, I left it too late again. I can't bother. Maybe I'll just leave it today. And immediately correcting myself with no, you've got to do this. This is the moment I get into, okay, I'll leave today, so I'll do it tomorrow, then I know it's the beginning of the end. And I've said that before. I think it's one thing to forget completely to do something you've committed to, and another thing to consciously decide not to do it, whatever the habit is that you're trying to establish. So that's what I teach. I think it was a no-brainer really for me. There was no decision in the end as soon as I realised I hadn't done this yet. But no, here we are at the end of another week, and beginning of the week I set out to find some answers with regards to speaking in schools. And I had an email back actually from the chap I emailed that I got secondary school. He's the head of PE. And I'd asked him kind of just generally what the protocol was and how it worked. And he said that, yeah, they do. There is a budget, kind of central budget. There's individual faculty budgets, which are a bit harder to access and a bit smaller, obviously. But he wasn't really that encouraging in the sense of, yeah, this is a big thing for us. This is what we do. Lots of schools do it, which is fine. Again, I'm looking for facts, really. So whatever the facts are, that's cool. But also, I had an interesting conversation with Diana, my agent, this morning. A bit more information about the potential talk in April. So that's again all checking out well and sounding good. I think the fact that this is for a council, and I've done a bit of work with my local Oxford City Council a few years ago, is kind of going in my favour as well. But anyway, we had an interesting conversation about schools and speaking in schools. And although Diana isn't, as an agent, isn't against the idea of it, she did say that there's quite a lot of work involved in doing it, in terms of actually getting into schools in the first place. And they're normally pretty keen to keep a very, very tight close eye on the budget, in that most schools would not have a budget at all, or they'd want you to speak for free or for a very, very, very kind of reduced rate. Now, I'm not necessarily against doing that, because I would like to feel like I'm able to give back a little bit, and to, if I can have an impact on kids, a real impact, something that's going to make a difference to somebody's life, potentially a few people's lives, then I'm not going to discount it, even if it's not really a commercially viable thing for me to do. But on the other hand, I do have to kind of be looking at this and thinking, well, if I start doing this and I get lots and lots of bookings, am I pursuing something that is actually going to potentially be holding me back, ultimately? So I'm going to kind of keep it on the boil and keep ticking over with my own research and my own inquiries, but it's not something I'm going to be going full on into. Meanwhile, I'll keep doing a few bits and bobs for the local, for my kids' school, because hey, why not? So yeah, productive week, a fruitful week, some progress, yay. There's a fair bit more to go, and actually another thing Diana said was that one of the other speakers that they've taken on recently, a few months before me, so she's got a bit of a head start on me in that respect. Completely different field of expertise. She said that they're getting sort of between 1 and 3 inquiries a month coming in for her now, so it's kind of a slow burn. So that's good to know. It's not as exciting as the idea of getting dozens of inquiries each month would be, but I appreciate kind of the slow burn. If that's the way it's going to be, then I'd rather know that, rather than kind of expecting something and not having those expectations met. So a good conversation to have had this morning, and rounding off a solid week of progress. So I'll be back checking in again tomorrow with more updates, more thoughts, more musings, and more day 34s. Speak to you then. Bye for now.